Welcome back, everyone, to Introduction, the Genesis of Immersive Minds. I'm Jay, here with my co-host Monica Hayes for today. Welcome, Monica. Today's episode is called Sustaining Your Journey to Mastery. And oh boy, we're getting right into the thick of what it really takes to start and keep going.
Yep, and this one's close to my heart, Jay. Let's kick off with this quote from Shi Heng Yi. There are two mistakes along the way to mastery, not starting it and not going all the way. Honestly, just the idea of starting can be paralyzing sometimes, right?
Exactly. I remember when I launched my local support group a few years back. I almost didn't do it. My logical brain was telling me, you don't have enough time, you'll mess it up. What if no one shows up? All that self-doubt. It was like I could visualize taking that first step and also every possible way it could go wrong.
I feel that. It's wild how sometimes just making one decision sets everything else in motion. If you wait for total certainty, you're never going to get started. There's always 100 reasons, well, maybe 1,000, depending on the day, to not take that leap.
So true. And the thing is, for a lot of us, especially those who tend to overextend themselves or go out of their way for people who don't reciprocate, starting isn't just about logistics. It's about finally honoring yourself. You've got to, confront that really hard truth. Are you giving away pieces of yourself to places that don't honor your worth? Sometimes we have to withdraw access to ourselves from those places and reclaim our power.
Yeah, here's the kicker. Believing you're enough. You know, just existing, your presence in any room. It already counts. You gotta stop begging to be chosen and start choosing yourself. It's easy to say, but when you're at that starting line, it can feel overwhelming. I had to learn that lesson way later than I wish I had.
Same, but that first little shift, you act, even when you don't feel ready. If there's one takeaway for anyone listening who's stuck at the starting point, one step, one decision can break the cycle of inertia. And you're not alone, even if it feels like it. Let's slide into the next thing, because truth is, starting once doesn't mean it's all smooth sailing. What actually keeps us going after that first burst fades? That's where it gets interesting. So, Shi Heng Yi's law of sustainment. You cannot sustain what you do not believe. I kind of love how blunt that is. If you don't actually believe in why you're doing something, it just fizzles, no matter how well you started.
Absolutely. It makes me think back to this one audit project, maybe 15 years ago. I spent months chasing down paperwork, fixing errors, losing sleep. I was ready to just scrap the whole thing. But I took a step back and asked, why did I get into this field in the first place? Once I reconnected with my core values, wanting to improve processes so workers and patients got better care, it pulled me back in. Finding that sense of purpose is like turning a light back on.
I love that. And especially now, we're all sort of swimming in a soup of selfishness. And honestly, narcissism feels like it's at an all-time high. It's hard to sustain anything positive if you don't maintain that belief in what you're doing and in each other too. I think that's why self-monitoring matters so much. Jay, over all your experience, how do you check in with your own beliefs about yourself and your goals?
Well, it's mostly about regular reflection, not like formal journaling necessarily, but I try to notice when my motivation hasn't just dipped, but actually shifted. Am I doing the thing out of fear or still out of intention? Sometimes, honestly, it's just asking, is this still my goal or have I picked up someone else's?
That's powerful. So for anyone listening, one real tool is just to literally ask yourself periodically, what do I believe about myself today? About why I'm still doing what I'm doing. Mental health is a huge part of that, and it's so underserved. But if more people could pause and check their beliefs, I think we could start fixing some of these broken social constructs. Maybe not fix everything, but chip away at it together.
Yeah, and if it feels awkward, just remember, it's not about self-criticism. It's so we don't lose sight of our real reasons for sticking things out. Self-honesty keeps you going a lot longer than sheer willpower ever could. That leads right into our toolkit, because let's be honest, you can't just white-knuckle your way through life. You need things to actually sustain you, especially as the world keeps changing around us.
Let's talk about the how. Practical self-monitoring strategies so you actually stay connected with yourself no matter what's happening in the world. Resources like www.successinsider.vip offer techniques, but there are timeless basics: changing beliefs, perspective taking, and letting go. Honestly, the National Center for PTSD lays out great cognitive strategies here. For example, changing or reframing beliefs about yourself, like not being so hard on yourself, can really reduce burnout and help you adapt over time.
Yeah, I love the balance they talk about. Using humor, flexible coping, even simply taking a different perspective when you're stuck. We had a community group member, let's call her Lisa, who realized her baseline mental health was dipping every time she overcommitted during big news cycles. She learned to notice that sooner. Her tell was when she started canceling personal plans. For her, just a quick daily check-in helped her get grounded again and adjust her coping strategies in real time.
That's such a clear example. And we all get a little lost sometimes. The trick is knowing, okay, am I losing touch with my beliefs or am I just tired? Perspective taking helps. Asking yourself, what's actually at stake here? Is this a crisis or am I just overwhelmed? Mindfulness, like literally just sitting still for a couple of minutes, makes a difference too. Even the VA recommends mindfulness apps for exactly this reason. Questions for reflection keep me in check, like, what do I actually want to sustain? What's draining me most right now? When you catch yourself drifting, that's the sign it's time for a reset. Sometimes that's a walk around the block or just a few deep breaths, but that little space lets you reset.
And, honestly, don't underestimate humor. Even silly stuff, like a goofy gif or a bad pun, helps you reconnect with others and lighten up. If you can reflect, reset, and keep it a bit lighter, you're less likely to burn out. Plus, as the research shows, a sense of humor leads to less emotional exhaustion.
So, bottom line, sustaining your journey isn't just about grit. It's about knowing yourself, checking in, and using practical tools, even imperfectly. Thanks for tuning in with us today. We'll dig even deeper next time. Jay, as always, appreciate your perspective. Take care, everyone. Thanks, Monica. And thanks to all our listeners for sticking with us. Keep reaching, keep reflecting, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.